There is nothing so powerful as an idea whose time has come. Victor Hugo. The biggest question we can ask ourselves is why would we care about the transits of human design? I mean, yes, you can feel the energy around you. Yes, you can understand how people are interacting with it or how you're interacting with it. But the biggest question that I'd like to talk about today is, are there better times to release things into the collective that they may be accepted or embraced in a way that we want them to be, something that we're releasing that we worked very hard on. Today, I'm going to focus on the 1648 channel because from June 20th to July 15th, 2024, we will have the full 1648 channel in play. Now, this is called the Channel of Talent. Personally, carrying this energy, or even half of the channel, the 16 or the 48, really does talk about this idea to be able to connect with something that you want to bring to mastery, something that you want to hone, something that makes your heart sing, that you want to put the hours into. And eventually, one day, the dream is to become an expert or very adept at whatever that thing is you're mastering. It is all about mastery. This is logical talent. So we know that that is something that some people will be focusing on. We've talked about Uranus, we've talked about it moving into the gate 8 and that individual talent. But today I really want to focus on the 1648, the logical talent, because it is a bigger picture for anyone who is carrying any of that energy, who wants to put something out into the world. And potentially there might be an opening. I can't guarantee it, but I want to show a few things that I've discovered along my way. And it all begins with imagine. But before I get into that, let's talk a little bit about the 1648 channel when it comes to being a collective energy, a global energy, which is what we're going to be experiencing. When we talk about the 1648 channel, not only is it a channel of talent, but it is also a channel where you can use your talent to better the world, or you want to bring some correction. If we look at the circuitry of logical talent, we see that it begins with the gate 58, which is all about joy, energy going into the gate 18, finding the correction, discovering what needs to be improved in the world, moving into the gate 48, and that is about the well, where we collect all the things that we want to improve in our lives, in the world, or whatever. And then it moves to the gate 16, where we speak about it, where we look for a way to experiment with the energy to try and bring change to the world. So when we talk about the 1648 channel, this is again a channel of talent where you can use your talent to improve the world. Now, celebrities have been doing this for a long time, but we may not have noticed why they're doing it, only that maybe they're an activist or something like that. Today, we're going to focus on the song Imagine, which was written by John Lennon and was released in an album called Imagine of the same name. It was released on September 9th, 1971 in the US and October 8th, 1971 in the UK. John Lennon was originally from the Beatles, and in 1971, Imagine was the first time that John Lennon came out and sang his own song. It showed his political activism, where one song title was I Don't Want to Be a Soldier, and the other one was Imagine, which is a theme song for a lot of people. What is very interesting is that when John Lennon released this song and the whole album, people really liked it and it had a critical acclaim. And it was considered a success for his solo performance. But more importantly, from the perspective of what was happening in the world and the collective and sort of how it would have been received or could have been received, was that at that point we had Saturn in the gate 16 and Uranus in the gate 48, which brought the activation of the channel of talent, which is giving this ambiance or this collective energy for potentially seeing that somebody is using their talent in a way where they want to improve the world in some way. And of course, he wanted to have success from his own perspective, ideally, but there was also a message in the story of Imagine, because it is truly a story when you listen and look at all the different lyrics that he has added to it. So some of the lyrics that John Lennon had were, imagine there are no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will be as one. So he really was bringing a message of peace, unity, and that was kind of the collective message that he was giving, but he was also using his talent to try and improve the world in some way. So this story began in September 9th, 1971. And there's been a lot of covers and remakes of this energy of this song because there was so much energy that was put into it. And it also had the collective energy that was happening at that particular time to even propel it even further. So let's continue to move forward. Of course, there's been a lot of covers, but the one that is most recent would be the one that was done by Gal Gadot. And that was done during COVID when we had everything shut down. And, it was like this unprecedented moment where we all lived through this sudden closure of the world in general. And Gal Gadot got some friends together and they started to sing this song, Imagine. And it wasn't well received. People didn't like it. They didn't like what she had done. They didn't like what the celebrities had done because they felt like there was a real division between them. From the perspective of Gal Gadot, I can see why she would have made the song because she has the incarnation cross of planning, which is about community, which is about sort of bringing your enthusiasm and your skills to the community. And so she has a hanging gate 16 that is activated by her personality sun. So it makes a lot of sense. So you see her putting this song out and you see it not doing well. But then you look at the transits that were happening sort of at that time when this particular video was going around, March 18th, 2020, and the days that followed. And you don't have any energy that is connected to the 16 or the 48. In fact, instead of having something like collective energy, we had three planets, Mars, Jupiter, and also Pluto in the gate 61, which is all about occult knowledge, trying to figure things out, not getting the answers you want, wanting to know things that you can't know. And that was the energy that this video was released into, which probably wasn't the best energy for this release. Of course, nobody planned it. Of course, we can't say it's only because of that, but it is interesting how that was the energy that was prevalent at that particular time. A lot of individual energy. The only thing that was actually collective energy amongst the sea of individual, we had the north node in the gate 52 and the south node in the gate 58. Well, the north node in the gate 52 was very apt because it really did bring us into this place of stillness where we had to sit with ourselves and not be able to go out and be busy and continue to do what we'd always been doing. And the gate 58 is about trying to find joy in the perfection of the pattern or finding joy in figuring things out, improving things. So, I can see where she would have felt like this was the right thing to do, but it didn't go as she probably had hoped it would. Now we fast forward to June 1st, 2024, where Dolly Parton just re-released her own cover of Imagine. Dolly Parton has Gate 48 Line 4 activated by her design Jupiter. So it was probably something that she felt inside that she felt she needed to release this. And with all the 1648 channel, and at that particular time when she did release it, the 1648 channel was in play. The sun was in the gate 16, Venus as well was in the gate 16, and the south node was in the gate 48. So a relatively good time for her to re-release it. But again, this ability to use your talent to try and improve the collective, to try and improve the world. And in fact, Dolly Parton has this thing she calls the Imagination Library, where she gifts young individuals, young children, books so that they can read, and maybe they don't have a lot of money, but she gifts them. And that's like a program that she runs. And it's called the Imagination Library, which I think is pretty incredible. And finally, to wrap it all up, the end of May, around May 29th, we had a viral AI image that was circulated around the world. In fact, it was circulated 47 million times. It was a viral phenomenon where everybody was sharing this particular image. It happened when we had the 1648 channel in play, the same one I just spoke about. A lot of celebrities chimed in and talked about it as well and shared and sort of had their own conversations about what was happening in the world that we live in now. And so, what it says to me is that there are moments in life when the doors are open, and maybe we can see them sometimes, and maybe we can't see them other times. But by learning what we can discover about the transits, about human design, and how we can use it in our lives and in our futures, it means that there might be something that we can open a door to where we have a little bit more energy to guide us forward, to allow our voices to be heard in the world because the timing was right. And as Victor Hugo said, nothing is more powerful than an idea whose time has come. And thank you so much for being here. Until next time, take care and bye for now.